I'm Dr. Shijab Karim. This is my second video regarding surgical emergencies in pediatrics. So today I would like to explain about Hirschsprung disease. We know that it is one of the cause of delayed passage of meconium. If we left untreated, 80% of the cases may lead to mortality. So the diagnosis of this disease also is very much important in our clinical practice. So I want to explain this disease in 10 headings. So what is meant by Hirschsprung disease? It is characterized by absence of ganglionic cells in the distal end of alimentary canal. So what is meant by ganglionic cells? It is nothing but a nerve cells which includes Orbash plexus and Meissner's plexus. The etiology regarding this disease includes the 10% is syndromic. That means it is associated with the syndromes like Down syndrome and Waardenburg syndrome. And the 90% is not syndromic. That means it is not associated with any syndromes. Before going to pathophysiology, we should have to know about the development of alimentary canal. Suppose this is alimentary canal, this is oral end and this is anal end. There is a particular cells called neural crest cells. And this neural crest cells is migrating from oral end to anal end during the time of development. And these neural crest cells later develop into ganglionic cells. Ganglionic cells or nerve cells. And these ganglionic cells or nerve cells includes Orbash plexus and Meissner's plexus. This is the cross section of our alimentary canal. We know that alimentary canal consists of 4 layers. The outermost layer is serosa, then muscularis, then submucosa, and innermost layer is mucosa. And this is the lumen of alimentary canal. The Orbash plexus is situated within the muscularis layer of alimentary canal. So this is Orbash plexus. And this Orbash plexus also called myenteric plexus. Another plexus called Meissner's plexus, which is situated within the submucosal layer. And this plexus also called submucosal plexus. These plexus, Orbash plexus and Meissner's plexus or ganglionic cells is a part of parasympathetic system. And this ganglionic cell help for the propagation of peristaltic verve along the length of alimentary canal. In Hirschsprung disease, what happens is that due to some reasons, there is an arrest of migration of neural crest cells from oral end to anal end. As a result of arrest of migration of neural crest cells from oral end to anal end, the distal end become devoid of nerve cells. And in the distal end, there is no ganglionic cells or nerve cells. And the distal end become 3 zones. This is the distal end of alimentary canal. This is transverse colon, descending colon, sigmoid colon and rectum. As a result of arrest of migration of neural crest cells from oral end to anal end, the distal end become 3 zones. Zone A, Zone B and Zone C. Zone A is a narrow, spasmodic, non-relaxing pathological segment. And this area become narrowed due to sympathetic overactivity. And this area is completely devoid of ganglionic cells. Hence this Hirschsprung disease also called congenital intestinal aganglionosis. And the zone B is called transition zone. In this zone, the ganglionic cells is very few in number. And the zone C is called hypertrophied distended zone. This area is normal because ganglionic cells is present. And the lumen of colon is enlarged due to hypertrophy. Hence, this Hirschsprung disease also called congenital megacolon. depends on the length of the aganglionic zone or pathological segment. This Hirschsprung disease can be classified into 4 types: ultra short segment Hirschsprung disease, short segment Hirschsprung disease, long segment Hirschsprung disease, and total colon Hirschsprung disease. The first one is ultra short segment Hirschsprung disease. Here the only internal sphincter of anal canal is involved. The second one is short segment Hirschsprung disease. Here the anal canal and complete rectum is involved. Here the transition zone is rectosigmoid junction. It is the most common type. 80% belongs to this short segment Hirschsprung disease. Hence this disease also called classical Hirschsprung disease. And third one is long segment Hirschsprung disease. Here the anal canal, rectum and part of the colon is involved. And the last one is total colon Hirschsprung disease. Here the anal canal, rectum and full length of the colon is involved. So the entire colon become narrowed because of aganglionosis. The incidence is 1 in 5,000. The male to female ratio is 4:1. That means this disease is common in males. And this disease mainly occurs in neonates and infants. In 90% of the cases, the clinical features begins to appear in the early neonatal period. That means within 48 hours of life. The main symptoms include delayed passage of meconium, intestinal obstruction and vomiting. On abdominal examination, the abdomen becomes distended and the bowel loops can be palpated. On rectal examination, the sphincter is very tight and there is forceful expulsion of feces with lots of gases. Due to aganglionosis, the distal end of the alimentary canal becomes narrowed, which will lead to intestinal obstruction. Due to hypertrophy or distended colon, the feces become accumulated and later become infection or inflammation of the colon. And this complication is called Hirschsprung disease associated enterocolitis. And there is also chance of perforation, peritonitis and sepsis. The differential diagnosis, the first one is hypothyroidism. Hypothyroidism is the most common cause of delayed passage of meconium. The other cause of delayed passage of meconium is intestinal atresia and anorectal malformation. The diagnosis is mainly by plain abdominal X-ray, barium enema and rectal biopsy. The first one is plain abdominal X-ray. The findings includes dilated bowel loops and absence of rectal gas shadow. In barium enema, the finding is there is a transition zone. Proximal to transition zone, there is dilated bowels. Distal to transition zone, there is narrowed segment. The last one is rectal biopsy. Rectal biopsy is the gold standard of the diagnosis of this Hirschsprung disease. The finding is absence of ganglionic cells and hypertrophied nerve cells. The stains used for rectal biopsy is acetylcholine esterase. The treatment mainly by surgery. The surgery includes definitive procedures and temporary procedures. The temporary procedures includes temporary colostomy, which is done just above the level of transition zone. And the definitive procedure is done only after confirmation by biopsy. And the child is old enough to undergo major operation. The major procedures includes modified Duhamel operation, Soas operation and Senson's operation. If it is left untreated, 80% of the cases may lead to mortality. If having any complications like enterocolitis, the mortality rate is increases. That's all about Hirschsprung disease. Hope you all understood. Thank you.